welcome to Tell Me Are You Not Entertained, or Tell Me RUNE. I'm your co-host, Andrew.
And I'm Leilani.
And this week, we are going to be talking about, we're going to start talking about the movie flops. There's a lot of speculation about 2017 movie predictions, and the box office this summer is going to be a giant flop. Depending on your definition of a flop, we'll talk about that. But from there on, we're going to just have free talk, which could be good or bad. You can decide. Leave us a comment in the YouTube and or iTunes, which you can hear us both at Tell Me RUNE. So let's get into it. There was an article posted last week, May 12th, Friday, about how this summer, 2017, we'll see a 14% decline in the movie industry, the movie theater industry, which is the sharpest downturn in 3 decades, or would be. This is coming off of Fast and Furious F8 getting over $1 billion already, and then you have Disney's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which made a ton of money in the first 2 weeks, and now, I mean, it's about to pass $1 billion right now as we speak. But then a sharp turn happened when Guy Ritchie's King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, which was a $175 million budget, only collected $17 million last weekend. Or no, it was 15. No, it was $15 million. That's right. I picked it 4 times in our fantasy movie league, and that was one of the worst decisions of my life. But enough with my personal problems. But they're saying that the movie theater in the summer is going to be saturated with franchises, sequels, and reboots that it's just not going to stand up to what happened last year or what happened in the last couple of summers. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I just feel like every single summer it's exactly like that. So it's no different from other summer movies where there's reboots and sequels and all that. It just feels like it's a rinse repeat every single summer.
Yeah, I read this article, or the comments to this article on Reddit, and everybody was saying that same exact thing. Like, we've heard this before every summer, and then it turns out fine. I mean, some of the movies that are coming out this summer is, you have Pirates of the Caribbean 5, which is coming out. I'm not particularly excited for that movie. Then you got Transformers: The Last Night, which, again, I'm totally over Transformers. I was over Transformers like 2 movies ago. And then you got Baywatch, which is just a reboot of an old TV show.
I'm really, really excited about that one, but that's just for my own selfish reasons. Just saying.
I mean, call me selfish too, because I'm excited about it. Then you got Planet of the Apes coming out with their new installment to their new franchise, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm really super excited about it. You have Alien this weekend, Diary of a Wimpy Kid this weekend. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I think a lot of these movies could see a decline in the domestic box office, but not necessarily like internationally. I think Transformers is going to make $1 billion internationally easily, because that's the reason why they're making this movie. Let's just all be honest with ourselves. They're not making those movies to impress the US of A. They're doing it for all the international folks too. And I mean, it eats up international. Like, it's still declining in all those markets, but it's still raking in $1 billion plus every installment. So I don't know. This article talked about Despicable Me 3 as one of the guaranteed juggernauts this summer, which I kind of agree with.
And let's not forget, I mean, Wonder Woman. I think that's what everybody has been anticipating and waiting for this summer.
That's true. I think that movie could be. I think the movie's going to make a lot of money, kind of like how Suicide Squad is. I think a lot of more people are going to be a little bit more timid because of Suicide Squad. I think they're still going to rake out the money. But if this movie does not hit everything that people are wanting it to hit, I think we're going to see not a lot of people show up for the Cyborg movie or the Aquaman movie or whatever other movies that Warner Bros. Is going to do, because they're on thin ice. I feel they're failing upwards, but they're doing stuff.
I agree, but it's just the fact that, again, you have nothing but male superheroes, and we're finally getting a female icon, her own movie, and her backstory. So I feel as though more and more people are probably going to go out to see it just to see how they're going to depict this iconic character, especially as a female.
That's true. I definitely agree. Spider-Man, I'm definitely not excited for that movie. I'm not really caring about it.
I'm only seeing it because of Michael Keaton. That's the only reason or only draw for me.
Yeah, I would only see it for Michael Keaton, but I'm not going to go see it. But it also makes me worry about if these big time box office smash hits are like worried about not getting the numbers. I'm worried about the smaller movies that aren't coming from another big major picture, like Everything. I mean, I don't really care about the movie, but somebody put in the time and effort, and it's its own entity. So it's kind of like, well, where are those own entities going to land? If the big Transformers isn't going to do well, who's going to go see Everything or Baby Driver when it comes out, or those types of movies that we want to keep a hold of in the movie theaters? Because after a while, if only Star Wars and Marvel movies are going to do well, studios are going to be like, we want more of those. We don't want to put in $175 million for King Arthur and it make 15 mil on the first week when it's supposed to make the biggest amount of money there is that first time out. So it's like, I don't know. That's where I'm worried about. But a lot of people are saying that not to worry about it. Everybody's loving Pirates of the Caribbean. Everybody says it looks good. Transformers, I don't know too much about that, but it looks really, I don't get it. Last night, and then I don't know if is it in the future or is it in the past? I've seen the trailer like 3 times and I can't make heads or tails with it.
I've yet to see the trailer because I really don't care, because I've stopped, especially after Shia is no longer in the movies. And I'm like, I mean, I could care less when Megan Fox like dropped off. That was fine. But after Shia, I'm like, okay, we have Mark Wahlberg. That's not really a draw for me, I guess. But after a certain point, I'm like, are you finally going to kill off someone? Like, are they going to go back to their home planets? I don't understand.
I really can't make heads or tails with this new. It's almost like in the middle of the Transformer movies, they rebooted the whole series yet again, because you had Shia LaBeouf in the first 3, right? And then when you hit Mark Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg movie that came out a couple of years ago, it's like in the future, and after all the Transformers happened, and then everybody's wondering where all the Transformers are, and then they rediscover Optimus Prime and he doesn't remember anything. And so now they have a whole new system to have to figure out. And then the government's the bad guy again because they want to use their transformium. I think that's what they called it. I'm serious. That's what they called it. The creative team came up with transformium so they could use that to make like guns and stuff and have other things transform into other things. And then now this new one, it's like they're medieval, but are they still in the future? And now it's like, I don't know. And Sir Anthony Hopkins is in it, and he's supposedly the bad guy. Maybe he's in a castle, but there's people in medieval night stuff running around modern day, like apocalyptic New York streets. And I'm just like, where is this going? Like, and can I also bring up a subject of, has a movie ever gone back in time with their CGI? because looking at this trailer, they look more cartoonish than they did in the Shia LaBeouf ones.
Wait, really? Like,
Yeah. They look super, like, Optimus Prime looks straight up cartoonish in this one, and I'm just like, this does not look good. I don't like this. This is giving me a headache. I literally legit watched the trailer twice because I went to F8 and they showed the trailer, and then I went to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and I watched the trailer, and I was just like, this doesn't even look good. Like, I don't even want to even... Is it going to be 3 hours again? Like, I don't want to watch 3 hours of this movie in a movie theater and be like, yeah, that's definitely cool.
is Michael Bay still directing as per usual? Or...
Yeah, I think so. I think his name is attached to it. It said Michael Bay at some point in the trailer, and I was just like, okay, cool, I guess.
I really, really liked Michael Bay to a certain extent, but with Transformers, he's making me not like him at all, because he just needs to be stopped or put down or something, because he's taking this idea of Transformers, which was amazing at first, and then he's just running it into the ground because he just wants to get more money out of it, and it's a huge ride at Universal. Yeah.
Well, it's not just him, it's the studio as well. You can bank off of it so much in the international markets that they're just like, let's keep this money cow going. Let's keep it rolling. If it's going to make $1 billion, why not make it? We'll just put whatever in there. They're just getting more, I think they're getting more ambiguous and vague with the plot. That they're just like, who cares what the plot is? Let's just fight. There's Dinobots now. Like, everybody's cool.
Wait, there's Dinobots?
There was ones in the most recent movie.
Okay, well, I told you I stopped watching after Shia, so I did not know this.
Yeah, there's Dinobots. So they're in the last like 15 minutes. So.
I know, but I might have to watch this now.
Just skip to the last 15 minutes because they killed off. I hated that movie. I love Mark Wahlberg, but I hated that movie. They had T.J. Miller in this most recent one, and they killed him off in the first 5 minutes. Like, the Transformers all wake up, and then they started, like, using their evapor beam or whatever they call it to just disintegrate people, and they disintegrate T.J. Miller, like, in the first 5 minutes. And it's like, they could have had such a good... They could have had such a good chemistry with... And one that hasn't been done before, because all the other ones had... Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox and the other girl that I can't remember, but she's a model and hot, I guess. I don't know. And
I think she's married to Jason Statham. I think, if I'm thinking about that one, that's right. And she was in Mad Max. I'm probably wrong, but yeah, I think that's her.
I could possibly be it, but there was always like a romantic virtue in the movies. And so when I saw TJ Miller, I was like, okay, dad's best friend and the dad's daughter, this could be all like a cool triangle kind of thing with no romance really into it. It's just a daughter or whatever. But come to find out, they kill off TJ Miller, and then the girl's douchey boyfriend joins up with them. And that's where the movie has it. So now Mark Wahlberg is the third wheel in this. He's an important third wheel because now there's a romance between the boyfriend and this girl. And it's just like, whatever. I just don't. Like, I quickly forgot about it because I was just like, TJ Miller, no. I love you in Silicon Valley. Don't die. And then it slowly went downhill from there. But Mark Wahlberg's cool. Jacked as always. So... And that's the bell to stop talking about Transformers and let's start talking about a different movie.
My bad. That was my phone going off for some reason.
That's fine. Once Twitter gets a hold of my phone, I forgot to turn it down. It might just yell Lloyd from Entourage. Anyways, is there a movie that you're excited for this summer or that you're wanting to bash? Because it just seems like we're just going to bash movies and just, I don't know.
Again, I'm really excited for Wonder Woman. That was all on me, and everything. I'm really, really excited about. I need to read the book. Just from the trailers alone, it looks really, really cute. The Mummy, I'm completely and utterly hating on. If it does not have Brendan Fraser in it, I'm done. I don't want this whole entire freaking reboot or whatever. I think they're going on with, I think the girl coming back, the one that was killed off, with that whole love triangle thing. I don't remember names, but I think they're going on with her story. She's coming back for vengeance.
I've never seen a Mummy movie, so you could just keep on talking. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You've never seen a Mummy movie at all? Seriously. They're really good.
Seriously, I've never seen it. I've seen the ride and I've seen trailers on TBS and TNT, but I've never actually sat down and watched one of these movies.
I'm so disappointed in you right now. It's not even funny. Anyways, okay, speaking from somebody who like loved the Mummies, just the first two, because I think the third one went downhill after Rachel left, and they replaced her. But again, the first two I can watch on loop. It's freaking amazing. Plus, I like kind of the history about it. But just the reboot with Tom Cruise, I'm like, no. Just again, Tom Cruise being in it. I'm completely and utterly done with that franchise.
I mean, doesn't it seem like Tom Cruise is less doing movie roles and just doing the same role over and over again nowadays? It's like Mission Impossible. He's doing another Mission Impossible movie. Jack Reacher is the same character. It's just like, I get that they're tough in probably choreography and fight scenes and having to be in good shape, but it's like, I don't know how much acting exercises he's doing nowadays, because it's like, I don't know how far you can go into it. I mean, maybe he's holding on to that candle of like being able to do it, and then maybe he'll try to transition into like more of like a dramatic older time fellow when he gets older, like maybe like a Jack Nicholson, if he's going to turn into that, or if he's just going to be like, I'm going to keep on doing these fight scenes because I'm going to try to show everybody that I'm still cool and everything. Like we haven't gotten a Cocktail from him, or I just don't know. It's just like, it's less about mentally the character, and it's just more about physicality. And it's just, I just feel like we're getting Mission Impossible like 16 at this point. Like it doesn't matter what his name is or what he's doing. Like this is just a stunt after stunt after stunt, and it's just him just doing it. So I don't know. To me, it's just like, whatever.
No, I completely agree. It's just everything that it's sad when I hear Tom Cruise is going to be in it. I'm like, I have no desire to see this movie now because he's in it. Before, everybody's like, oh my God, Tom Cruise. And now I don't want to say he's a joke because he's still a really good actor. It's just like you said, it's like rinse, repeat. That's all he does in every single movie. It's a typical action-packed thriller movie, and that's about it.
I don't know. If you watch Jack Reacher, then it's a joke. Sorry, that second Jack Reacher was so bad. Oh, it was so hard to watch. It was just like 2 hours of just being like, oh, cringy. I don't know. But I totally forgot about The Mummy. Yeah, I would not go near that movie. I would rather go see the one with, like you said, Brendan Fraser or The Rock before even going to see Tom Cruise.
Please tell me you will watch that movie. At least the first one. Just please.
Possibly. I don't know. No, not making any promises right now. I still have Superman 1 through 4 on my list. That's an inside joke to everybody else who's listening.
Okay, so I told Andrew to watch Superman. I'm just going to glaze over this really quick, and he has yet to do it, even though everything that he tells me to watch, I usually sometimes watch it. So he just refuses to watch Superman for whatever reason there may be. So I won't hold my breath that he'll watch The Mummy.
It's not like I'm protesting Superman, but it's like other things like come up. I mean, you get it. Other things come up and you're just like, oh, like I watched Unbreakable this weekend because I want to watch Split sometime soon. And everybody already told me the link between them, but it's like, oh, I should watch it. But yeah, you just new movies keep rolling out, and you're just like, oh, which one would I rather watch? And I'm not Superman movies aren't really high on my priority list. Even though you say they're amazing, I should watch them. But it's really tough. I don't know.
You're a disappointment. I'm just saying.
Wow, you're not angry. You're just disappointed. That's really rough.
Oh, there was one that I actually wanted to talk to you about. I've been meaning to talk to you about it in person, even off podcast, because I know you're a big Stephen King fan. What did you feel about The Dark Tower? I don't know if you've seen the trailer or heard about it or anything.
I have not seen the trailer, but I know Idris Elba is in it. I love him in anything. He's really cool. But I mean, I'm excited. I've heard about the book. I've heard about it as a series and how great it is. But I have not seen any of the trailers. I don't know if I want to, just because I know I'm gonna already go see it. But I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it and The Dark Tower. But I mean, I haven't read the books, but I'm hoping it's different than what I've seen 10,000 times. Knowing Stephen King, maybe it is, but I don't know.
Just from what I was told, because I have yet to see the trailer, but from what my friend Amber told me, and she's really good at telling stories, so she told me the trailer in great detail, and I'm kind of excited just to see it, even though I haven't seen the trailer. So, and I kind of want to read the books now, which I believe is a series.
Yeah, it is a series. It's a lot of books all put together, but yeah, so I have some of the movies up right now that are coming out. There is Wonder Woman coming out along with Captain Underpants, which I'm excited for because I used to read all the books, and I tried to give them to my niece and nephew as a birthday gift, and my sister quickly did not even want them. They were like, "Nope, that's not gonna happen," and I was just like, oh, "Okay." But you have The Mummy coming out. Really, there's Cars 3. I think Cars 3 is going to kill it. I mean, do you know how many kids are going to eat that movie up? Rough Night, I think that one's going to be fun. I've actually seen the trailer for Rough Night, and normally with those kind of comedies, because they do like 3 or 4 of them every night. Do you know what Rough Night is, by chance?
Yeah, but it just feels like it's the white version of Girls Trip, and it also reminds me of the female version of Very, Very Bad Things.
See, that's where I normally roll my eyes, because they do make 10,000 of these movies. But so this is where I rolled my eyes at Bad Moms, because they kept putting it as The Hangover for women, whereas I think Rough Night is actually going to be very close to The Hangover with women or for women. So, and I like most of the people that are in there. Like, I like that Alana from Broad City. I haven't watched too much of Broad City, but her and her counterpart are super funny. I don't like Kate McKinnon having a weird accent. I don't know if she can hold on to it throughout the whole movie. I've seen a couple of trailers where I think she loses it halfway through, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
See, I think that they're showing the parts where she's having an accent, and I kind of feel as though it's going to play into it where she's not. So, hopefully.
Like she drinks something and then she just wakes up with an accent or hits her head or something.
I usually do that after like 2 vodkas, and I have an accent afterwards.
All right. Well, then you're just a drunk Madonna. So, Transformers, Baby Driver, which I'm excited for, Spider-Man Homecoming, Girls Trip, like you just said, July 21st, Emoji, the movie. Bleh. I think that's just trying to play up for everything. You have Annabelle Creation coming out in August. I don't even know when the summer season ends. Like, I'm just gonna keep on going down.
There's one that I'm kind of iffy about. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but All Eyes on Me, the Tupac kind of like biop. I've been kind of hearing it for like years that they're trying to make it, and then it's finally here. But it's kind of you can either it's going to be a complete and utter flop, or it's going to be amazing. There's no in between with something like that.
I think it's going to be amazing because if you just have some of the people using the same techniques that they use for the NWA Straight Outta Compton movie. I think that All Eyes on Me is just going to be fantastic. Also, the guy that plays Tupac in that movie looks exactly like Tupac, in my opinion, from what I've seen of the trailer. I'm like, sheesh, that guy, like, I want to think that they went back in time and got him and then made the movie and then threw him back in his time. But yeah, I'm excited for that one. There's a lot of movies. I don't know what turned in my brain, but I went from super suspicious of movies to now excited for movies. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if my heart grew 3 sizes one day. And I don't know. I'm excited for some of the movies. I'm still very skeptical on a lot of the movies, but I don't know. Like Pirates, I don't want to see it. I've seen all the Pirates up to this point, and I've been disappointed ever since 3 happened. And I couldn't tell you where, like, specifically it went downhill, but I'm just like, all right, on 3, I was like, all right, we're done with this concept. Can we not do this anymore? And then they were just like, nope, we got to keep going. We're just going to put more pirates into this, take out William Turner and more Jack. And then it's like, all right, can we not do this anymore, please?
Well, it's just like with Transformers. They have this amazing concept, and then they're just running into a ground, and then, again, it has a ride. But I think with this one, it kind of looks a little bit better than what they were trying to do before. Because, again, when the first 3... The third one was kind of lackluster for me. It just felt like they were trying to wrap it up as much as they could because they didn't know if they were going to continue on and who they're going to continue on with. So when Jack had his own movies, it was kind of like, it's kind of been done before. How many more pirate tales can you tell? So with this one, I don't know. It feels like they finally kind of jump-started the franchise, in my opinion, just from the trailers alone.
I can see that. I mean, look, I was skeptical with Prometheus, and then you had Alien Covenant coming out, and then I've watched those trailers, and now I'm like, I kind of want to go see this movie now. Same with Thor. I was like, do we have to make another third one? And then it's like, yeah, we do, because I really want to see that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm excited for a lot of movies, more than I was like even 2 years ago, where I was just like, we have to have another one of these movies. But now I'm like, oh, now I want one of these movies. Like the Baywatch looks a lot more like 21 Jump Street with Jonah Hill. I was like, when that movie came out, I was like, I really want to see that. Now with Baywatch, I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, ugh. And then I was like, oh, you know what? This could be funny. Except MTV has to play the stupid trailer like 21 times in one commercial break. Like, stop showing me funny scenes and let me just go see the movie.
What are you watching MTV for?
MTV is my main source of just like TV funness now, because I watch Ridiculousness on loop because it's just background noise at one point, and then you could look up and then you can see them falling over each other. And then you got what's that other show I watch a lot? Oh, Catfish. Love Catfish. I love how broken these people are. I love how like disappointed they are when they go see the person and they're just like, oh, you're not the model in these pictures. It's like, no, duh. The model's not going to be talking to you for 8 years, and they're not going to find anybody else, but they want to talk to just somebody on the phone for 8 years and then make up excuses and not want to video chat with you. Like, yeah, oh, dude, couldn't see that one coming. But can I just say, there's no, like, you know how hard it is to find somebody to talk to over the phone for 8 years and they're just okay with not seeing you? Like, that's the type of relationship I'm cool with starting. Like, I would rather just talk to somebody for 8 years and take my time and then just be like, yeah, you know what? Let's finally meet. Normally, I talk to a girl for like a week and then we just get bored and just not talk to each other forever. So,
and you've heard it here. So any ladies that want to talk to Andrew for 8 years on the phone, there you go.
That's more my speed. But yeah, I just don't understand where they think like, Oh, like, and they always have the same exact thing. Oh, I still love this person no matter what they look like. And then they go to the person and then they're just like, what else was a lie? And they're just like, oh, I just lied about my picture. Wrong. I can never believe anything you say ever again because you weren't this hot model in the picture. And it's like they walk into the car and they're just like pouting. Like, I just wasted 8 years of my life dating this someone. First of all, what's considered dating? Is it the text messaging? Like, I don't know. Are you having dinner and then putting the phone on the other side of the table and you're like, this is dating now? I've never even seen this person. One person got engaged after talking to this person for 3 months, and then they're just like, yeah, I've never seen him, but he proposed to me. And it's just like, what gives you the right to think that's a cool idea?
Well, first of all, it feels like that's staged. Like some of those stories are just made up just to be done because it sounds so ridiculous.
It's all true. It's all fact. It's all true. Everything about Catfish is real. Like, you can't tell me it's not.
It's not. Anyways, I mean, there have been stories that you can read online about actual catfishing, but I don't know. It just with those stories about, especially with the person who got engaged after 3 months and they never met them. I just feel as though they want that kind of connection. I mean, it's okay if they don't have the physical connection. They just want the emotional connection that comes with it.
I agree. And it was brought up today on while I was driving around, and I was listening to the radio. There was talks about how different cultures view American culture's dating scene, and one person in the study, not one person, but one culture in particular, thought we were being too closed up in our dating scene, and the study found out like Spain was the one that thought our dating atmosphere was too, like, we were too stiff on dates because we want to be perfect and everything. And they kind of blamed it on movies and how everybody's looking for that precious moment, that perfect moment of like, oh yeah, this is exactly when I met him and I want this perfect story and all this other stuff. And I was like, you know what? I can see a lot of it happen because I feel like there's a lot of, I've dated girls that are like, oh yeah, this would be a great story of how we met. And I was just like, I met you in a Barnes and Noble and I dropped books. Like, I don't know. I just don't think, I think, ugh.
Okay, actually, that's kind of cute. So that's actually, I can see in a movie.
That was false. That never happened to me. Wow. I can't believe you don't know me or my life. But
So wait, that didn't happen?
no, that never happened. I never met any girl at Barnes and Noble. They're all weird and like we're all nervous. In a bookstore, nobody wants to talk to each other. Like everybody just wants to be in their own little worlds, their own little bubbles, and they just want to like have like blinders on. And they're just like, I'm just looking in the fiction, and then they think everybody's judging them for looking at fiction books. And then maybe this is just me. I don't know. You can go. You can talk now if you want to.
No, I should have known that was probably false because you wouldn't be looking at the books, you'd be looking at the pop vinyls. So I should have known that was wrong.
I've been in a Books A Million twice, and I've only bought pop vinyl figures. I feel so bad that this is what it's come to, where I just look at the books and I'm like, oh, look at all these nice little books. And then I look at the price. I'm like, oh, that's way too expensive. I'm going to buy 4 pop vinyl figures instead. I can look at them every day instead of looking at this book that will sit on my nightstand and I will not read it. I'll read half of it and then not read it. And then I'll feel really bad about myself. I mean, I was going to buy Fight Club too, but I just don't like the medium it's on. It's a graphic novel. And Tyler comes back and then I opened it up and it's like, the art style is cool and it's grungy. Just kind of like how the first Fight Club feels like, but it's also like, I don't know, it's hard to read, and I'm just like, I'd rather not. If it was in a book, I would read it. I love the first Fight Club book. If it was a movie, I would watch it. But being a graphic novel, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm past that phase in life that I don't want to read a graphic novel. I'm sure graphic novels do fantastic work. There's a lot of artists involved. Everybody loves them, or most people love them, and they have a great character to them. But to me, I'm just like, I'm done with graphic novels. That was so fourth grade of me.
I would say you find that you're too old now in your early 20s. You're too old for graphic novels.
I'm in my mid-20s. Wow.
You're still in your early 20s.
I'm learning so much that you don't know that much about me. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, but I've met a girl at orientation on college, and it's always been like, oh, this would be a great story to tell people. And then it's like, I tell people and they're like, oh, that's so cute. And then it's like, yeah, but we broke up. And then it's like, oh, that sucks. And I'm like, I don't care. Gosh, that was a random story that just didn't go anywhere. You know what else isn't going anywhere? Canceled TV shows. And the new 2017 list of TV shows came out, renewed shows, but we're not going to talk about those because those are happy that they're going to come back for another season. At least we're going to talk about the canceled shows that you might be upset about. And I have a list here of the canceled TV shows. You got Two Broke Girls, American Crime, Blacklist, Redemption, which is the spinoff ripoff of Blacklist. Criminal Minds Beyond Borders, which just came out like a couple of weeks ago, and now it's already gone. You got Dr. Ken, who was a staple for a while. Girl Meets World. I didn't know that got canceled. Holy crap. Sorry for my foul language. The Great Indoors whoa, that's crazy. The Great Indoors. And then you got some that are just like you knew was not going to come back, which is Imaginary Mary. Sorry, but whoever decided to give that the green light is stupid. Oh, Scream Queens got canceled. Oh, now I'm really sad now. Oh, I'm so forlorn right now. Stop laughing at my pain. And the big one on that everybody can't stop talking about is Last Man Standing, which got canceled. Which I heard on the radio that the president of ABC came out and said that it was canceled due to ratings. But when people started looking up the ratings, it was the second highest rated sitcom on ABC, just behind Modern Family. And a lot of people are saying that the speculation came after Tim Allen made certain remarks on the Jimmy Kimmel Live, where he talked about how living in liberal heightened business, like show business, and how he can't say his conservative mindset. And he made a reference to Nazi Germany back in the 1940s on how a lot of people tried to shut him up about speaking his own political views. And come to find out, he got canceled. But with those high ratings, I feel like it could get picked up by like a Netflix or Hulu, or even of other TV show, Fox and everything. But ABC came out and said that they're not going to do any more sitcom family funnies on Fridays. Like, they're going to get rid of that whole lineup. And a lot of people were like, why not just move it to a different day, like a Wednesday or a Tuesday? But apparently they didn't want to do that. Personally, I was a fan of the show. Season 1 was amazing. It kind of dipped for me in season 4 and 5, but it was coming back. I mean, it was having a lot of cool concepts that I wasn't hearing enough of. Like, a lot of these shows nowadays with sitcoms, they want to be super different and whatnot. And so with that, they kind of just were like just throwing weird stuff at the wall and hoping it would stick, and people would find it cool and zany and whatnot. Whereas it kind of reminded me of a lot of Home Improvement, not just because of Tim Allen, but because they did storylines that would have themes and kind of stuff at the end where you're just like, oh, cool. Like, there was one in earlier seasons about voting, and one of his daughters, Mandy, was thinking of not voting, like, or she was going to vote, but she was going to vote against her dad. And she didn't know how to tell him. She didn't really feel like voting. And Tim Allen sat her down and was like, it's important as an American citizen to vote. It doesn't matter what I want or what your mom thinks. It's you should vote because it's your right and you having a voice and you should be able to flex that. And to see that aspect of like a family differing on a pretty big topic nowadays with politics, and then being able to have the dad say, yeah, it's fine. I might not agree with it, but you should still go out there and vote. And I was like, this is a neat little system, but ABC was like, let's just cut it. So anything on the list that you were sad about going?
No, not really, because the sad part is I really don't watch TV that much anymore, and if I do, it's the ones like Walking Dead, Mr. Robot, which I'm excited for because I keep doing little teasers for next season. And that's basically it. I don't really watch that much TV, and if I do watch TV, like I go over my friend Amber's house and watch like Dateline and a lot of murder shows.
I find it tough. I mean, I find it tough to watch TV nowadays because you have to I think it's easier with TiVo and on demand. And for me, I would just rather watch it on demand. Like I love going on Hulu and just watching shows okay, so there's so many TV shows, right? And this is supposed to be the golden age of TV. So right now, there's so many things vying for my attention. And so when there is that one particular show that grabs me and it's like, no, you have to finish this season, it's actually really, really rare nowadays. And I think, I don't care about 90% of TV that's on. And I mean, I think it's interesting that I started watching a show that I thought was stupid in the premise, which is Last Man on Earth. And I thought that was stupid because by the second episode, he finds another person. Spoiler alert, second episode, he finds Kristen Shaw.
If you listen to any podcast, you're going to get spoiled by the one and only Andrew. I'm just saying.
All right, well, I hope I was talking all the time about Last Man on Earth because I just didn't mute my mic.
So that means you probably didn't get spoiled. So you're lucky.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but he meets Kristen Shaw in the second episode, and I thought it was a dumb premise, but then I started watching it, and it was really, really witty, and now I can't get enough of it. I just found out that I had the whole second half of season 3. I thought it was done. I still had the second half not even watched, and now I'm like, I need to watch this. So every night I watch like an episode of it. So it's really, and I mean, for my website, I would do TV reviews and stuff, like TV show reviews. And so I would start watching TV shows and I'd be like, oh, this show is good, like The American Housewife, or this show is crap, like The Catch, who just got canceled. And now I'm just like, you just stop watching it. Like after a while, you just start doing other things. You forget that it's on. Even Hulu will be like, hey, you saw 4 on watch. And then it's like, yeah, but I don't feel like watching them. And then it's just like, they just go by the wayside. So it's now having so many different outlets and TV shows. Now it's even harder to find one that's just like, will grab you and just won't let you go, which I'm happy to find. But then again, it could be Prisoner if you have a show that you just don't want to watch.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, I only watched the first episode. It was good. It was really good, but it just didn't grab me yet. Like, I still want to continue watching on, but Harlots, I really like the first episode. So I want to continue on with that. And then I know with, like, American Gods, everybody keeps praising it. And I know, like, at Comic-Con 2 years ago, they kept promoting it like crazy. So I really want to watch that, too. And that already got a renewed for a second season already. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things is like, I really want to watch certain things, but I'm like, I really don't want to get invested in it. I don't have the time.
Yeah, I definitely get you. I mean, and that's where I find weirdly on Reddit, because there's a lot of posts now that's like, is this show good or is this show bad? And there you get a whole bunch of comments of like, just try it. You can stop after 2 episodes. But I feel like with people, they don't want to make that commitment, because if they watch 1 episode, then they're like, oh, I don't like it. Maybe the second episode will make sense. And then they watch the whole first season and they're like, this is garbage. Why did I waste all my time watching it thinking it would get better, but it didn't? But there's a lot of people on Reddit that'll just be like, is this show good? Should I even start it? And it's like, yeah, just start it. You can always stop it. I mean, I was the same way with movies. I'd be like, should I start this movie? And then it's like, yeah, I could stop it within 10 minutes if I don't feel like it's grabbing me. And I used to be like, oh, if I start a movie, I got to finish it. And it's like, and I watched Exposed with Keanu Reeves, and it was the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. And I wish I would have just turned it off, because it was just really bad the first 5 minutes, and it was way worse the last hour and a half of that 5 minutes came out. So, but yeah, it's just, I mean, I've started I've started a lot of shows, like multiple, like 30, probably 30 different shows, where I started watching like the first 3 episodes because I have a 3 episode theory. And then I just stopped. I was like, this is going to be garbage. Like Santa Clarita Diet or whatever with Drew Barrymore and that Timothy Oliphant. Wow, that was bad. That was terrible.
Really? What didn't you like about it? Because I know I saw it. It looked really kind of cute, funny type of thing. But then I was also like, I don't see how long this will last.
It really lost me on the concept more, because when I first read the premise of the show, it kind of had that weird vibe of like, oh, this is the perfect family, but they have a secret. And I knew they were cannibals from the beginning, but I'm like, okay, so to me it was like, is it a Dexter kind of thing where they're putting on a show of being the nice perfect family, but secretly they have a dark thing that where they eat people at night? And I was like, I like that concept of like, they have this like, well, I'm not eating people, but I like the concept of like putting on a show and then like going out at night and having a second life and everything. And then come to find out she's a zombie. Like she just dies and then she comes back a zombie. And I'm like, oh, zombie show, like boring. Like instantly I lost interest. I was like, why not just make it cool and make it a little different, like a Dexter family eating people? Like, to me, that seemed interesting, but to the people, they were just like, no, let's put more zombies in the world. Like, that seems like a good idea. Like, we can't have enough zombies. Walking Dead just had a spin-off show, Fear the Walking Dead. Like, let's have another one. Why not?
And don't forget the TV show iZombie that a lot of people watch. I tried. It got interesting, but I couldn't really get into the whole functioning zombie thing that they had going on with her.
Yeah, I get you. There's the one guy that's on iZombie goes to Funhouse a lot, and I really like him a lot. So I've always been like, oh, I really should start that show, but I know it's on Netflix and stuff, and I just have not gotten to it yet, which I'm very sad about. But then again, I mean, like I said, there's 10,000 shows that you could be watching right now, and you're watching this one or that one, or you're doing something completely different, like podcasting or editing videos or watching podcasts on YouTube, Tell Me RUNE channel, or you're listening to it on iTunes while editing different videos. But yeah, I don't know. It's really difficult to really subject and prioritize certain TV shows. Because I will say right now, if I didn't have Hulu or On Demand, I would just be like so lost right now. Like, I'd just be like, whatever. I don't even know what's on. What's on now? Like, college really ruined me, because I used to be like, oh, this show's on at this time. And now when we were in college, you're just like, what's going on? What show's out? Like, then you go, oh, that's been out for months. I'll just watch the whole thing in a weekend and I'll be all caught up. So I don't know. TV's been ruined, but I'm glad I have cable. A lot of people are just saying screw cable and get internet, which I can definitely see, but I just can't do it.
That's exactly what I did. I only have Netflix and Hulu, and that's it. Besides the fact that I'm like, I have all these things I could watch, and especially with Netflix and a Hulu having their original series that usually are really good. Again, like I said, Harlots is really good, and that's an original. Are you eating your headphone cord?
Sorry, I forgot where we're at.
So, anyways, but yeah, and besides, cable just is like ridiculous as far as pricing goes. I'm not paying that much. I rather pay like $10, $11 just for Hulu or Netflix, and that's it.
That's true. I forgot about how much cable actually is. But I mean, my uncle pays it, so I don't even know what it costs. But I mean, I'm sure if I was on my own, I would do the same thing of just putting more money towards faster internet, and then just having just Hulu, Amazon, or not Amazon, more like Hulu and Netflix, and then looking up all the shows on different streaming sites. Like I used to watch a lot of shows just like randomly, and that's another thing. If you find a show and it's not on Hulu or Netflix and you have to go searching for them, that's when you know the show is decent. Like I had to do that with Riverdale a couple of times where I was just like, I'm not going to watch it on normal. Like I can't watch commercials while I watch the show because I just go nuts probably because it's the CW and they just keep on pushing Supergirl or The Flash or whatever on you. So then I was like watching. So every week I had to go search for it and see if it was uploaded and watch it. Now it's coming to Netflix in like 3 days. So I'll get to watch the rest of that half of the season because it took a break a week, like 1 week it just didn't come out with a new one. And I was just like, oh, I'll just watch it when it comes out. And then I never picked it back up. But yeah, it's just really difficult to watch TV. I don't know. If it wasn't for DVR, I don't know what I would do.
It's these little struggles in life that we have to try to get through.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Even Netflix is going down a little bit in some of their comedies, and I don't know. Like everybody wants to be like, oh, this Netflix can't come out with a bad production. And I'm like, I could name probably 5 different productions that I do not think Netflix is doing well, along with Hulu. But I mean, I think that's where you get more products. Like, it's like a movie. The more reviews you give it, the more it has a chance of dropping in the rating. If you get one guy that loves the movie, it's going to have 100%. And then it's like, oh, that movie must be really good. No, it's just that one guy that may be close to the production that really likes it, or has a friend on the production, or really likes an actor or something. But then you have 5 other, and now it's dropped down to a 75. So with more opportunities and more risks, you get more chances of people not liking more shows. Kind of like how Iron Fist it was. Too many defenders, and then people just start downvoting it. And then it's like, it's still a decent show. Just because it's the 4th installment and came late doesn't mean it's all bad. But then again, I never finished really any of the seasons for any of the other defenders or whatever. I mean, 6 episodes into Luke Cage, I gave up. Jessica Jones lasted an episode and a half. Iron Fist made it 5 episodes, and Daredevil made it a season and a half. And then I was like, yeah, I waited for the Punisher. And then once the Punisher left, I was like, Foggy's so annoying. Like, I'm so done. Like, I felt like Jessica should have been more like, oh, be careful. Because they were like starting to like each other. But Foggy was like more of the hands-on girlfriend. I was like, oh my gosh, Foggy, just get some man pants and then go sit down in a chair and be the lawyer that this Charlie Cox can't be, because he's fighting crime all night. Like, and he's been doing it for years and you didn't know about it. And you're sitting there going like, oh, just be careful. All right, Mom, I'll be careful. Like, I don't know. He was just so annoying. Like, go back to being the goalie for the Mighty Ducks. And then we'll be... Oh, he wasn't the goalie. He was the slap shot guy. Kean Thompson was the goalie, along with the other kid.
I was like, it's Goldberg. That was the goalie.
Goldberg. But, I don't know. Sense8 was bad. I didn't like Sense8 at all. Game of Thrones has gone downhill for me. But then again, they're coming out with 4 new spin-offs that I can love/hate. But I think everything comes at a different shot. I mean, Silicon Valley, I got to come back to. There's just a ton of TV shows and not enough time. Like, and I'm doing the videos now. We're doing the podcast. It's like, I'm not just sitting around watching shows nowadays. I mean, who is realistically? I don't know. I mean, you're not.
No, I can barely do anything. I'm always leaving my house. I'm never home. I'm never home.
That's true. You're here right now talking. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Say anything more. I think TV shows are flopping too. Summer shows, summer movies. What isn't flopping? What isn't flopping these days? Everything gets hate. Nothing's ever going to be universally loved ever again, thanks to social media.
That, and they just keep pumping out things just because they're like, well, it's not really a new concept, but people like it if we can just change it a bit, and then people will eat it up, and yeah. So I just feel as though, because again, like with the MTV movie awards, that was a prime example of how much TV is getting pumped out, that they had to add TV to it. And so, I mean, it's not that, I mean, there's enough movies that they could have put into the awards, but I mean, I don't think it was enough for them, so that they were like, well, we have to have TV now because everybody's freaking watching TV.
It's also the SEO. I mean, movies are getting a bad flack for only being 2 hours, and TV shows are getting this like golden age of television sort of thing, and so they have to bring in the thing that's going to get you more views, which is Stranger Things, which is Game of Thrones, and all this other stuff. So, I mean, I completely understand it. I just don't particularly care for it. Like, I don't care what wins a Popcorn Guy Award. Like, realistically, I mean, winning a Popcorn Guy Award is like winning a Nickelodeon blimp. Like, wow, I'm glad you have it, but who cares about it? Like, it doesn't hold any weight or whatever. Teeny boppers like you. So you get a Nickelodeon award and slime. Congratulations.
I'm like, don't hate because you were a teeny bopper once and you love Nickelodeon, so don't hate.
I loved Nickelodeon. Not so much nowadays. I don't like the programming that they have. I mean, I remember watching the Kids' Choice Awards when SpongeBob SquarePants debuted right afterwards. Like, that was a pivotal moment in my life. It was right afterwards. They were like, they kept on like doing ads for it. They were like, SpongeBob SquarePants, a new SpongeBob SquarePants is coming on at the end of this. It's a brand new premiere and all this other stuff. And I was just like, oh, it looks funny from all the trailers. So I watched the whole Kids' Choice Awards, and then SpongeBob came out, and that was the one with the anchovies, and SpongeBob had to like make all the burgers for all the anchovy buses that are coming around. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I remember watching, they replayed that Kids' Choice Awards like 3 times, and they played the SpongeBob episode after it, like right after it, every time. And I watched the Kids' Choice Awards every time with SpongeBob right afterwards.
So I was intrigued of when it came out, because like, how old were you? And then it's 1999. Holy crap.
Yeah, I was about 6 or 7 then. And I'm telling you right now, SpongeBob was a major part of my childhood. And then my sister and a lot of people said, no, let's never show these to my kids ever again. Yeah. SpongeBob has a lot of bad tendencies. and a lot of inside jokes and adult humor. So nobody should watch it ever. So I watched a ton of it. I'm not really that insane or anything, but apparently SpongeBob had some bad omens or whatever.
I mean, they had worse shows like Ren and Stimpy and all that, which was completely adult orientated. I mean, compared to SpongeBob. And I remember watching that as a kid. That was definitely not censored for me. So,
Yeah, I mean, I could name a couple of shows that I used to watch. I mean, shows back then in the 90s had a lot of adult underlining themes, and you don't know it until you rewatch it when you're older, and you're like Rocko's Modern Life. It had a Deliverance reference in the first little thing, and I was just like, in the first episode, I'm like, what is going on? Like, my mind was blown at that. Or when he's a phone sex operator. Oh my gosh. I was like, when did this happen? I used to watch the show all the time. But I mean, it's on Nickelodeon. And then a lot of people, I guess adults start watching TV shows with their kids, and so they had to dumb down the writing or whatever. So that's when you get Dog with a Blog and all these shows where the real life humans are acting stupider than the cartoons would. So now I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't understand it completely.
I never heard of Dog with a Blog. Are you serious?
Oh, I'm serious. I watched multiple episodes with my niece and nephew at one point, and I was like, this is ridiculous. But I mean, I think it's just the times and whatnot. Because I mean, Boy Meets World I thought was a lot more grounded than Girl Meets World, and now that's getting canceled because I don't think it's resonating as much. Like, they still play Boy Meets World on MTV2 and stuff, like on weekend mornings, and I'm sure there's still kids that are younger than us that watch it, and they're just like, oh yeah, the show is really good. When realistically, it came out years and years ago, but they still have themes and stuff that like talk to kids and still resonate with them and are still entertaining. Whereas I think Girl Meets World and a lot of these shows nowadays are so niche. Like, they may have such niche comedy, and it's like, who is this for, really? And they're just like, oh, we're just throwing darts, seeing if anything holds on to it. And I mean, some of them do, and some of them I don't even know why they get renewed, but they still get it, and then it's just like, okay, cool. It's not for me. I get it. Girl Meets World isn't for me, but I can still watch Boy Meets World and still be like, oh, that's really insightful, or that's really cool. So that's a lot of the debate. It's not for you. So of course you're not going to like it. It's not your type of thing. But I watched Gravity Falls, and I think that's a really funny, witty show, yet it gets canceled after 2 seasons. And it's like, all right, well, I guess that's not for everybody. So, I don't know. I don't have kids, so I'm glad I don't have to watch it. And I can watch whatever I want, whenever I want, and they can say bad words if they want to. They can have suggestive themes. I see the MPAA rating of R, and they have that box filled up, and I love it because I can just blast it out in the open, and I don't have to worry about anybody repeating it or who's listening in on it, and I can just do whatever I want.
And this is why you want that 8-year relationship just talking on the phone, because you don't have to worry about kids at that point.
Yeah, that, and I can change who I am, and they wouldn't even know if I'm really that person or not. So I could be the best person in the world, and they wouldn't know that I'm not.
Would you send them your real photos, or would you just make up some photos?
Oh, I would always send them real photos. I'm not gonna be weird and just be like, oh yeah, my name is Patrick and I'm a hat model. And then they come back and they're just like, oh, I just talked to Neve and Max and you're not really a hat model. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm this person really.
But yet you just said that you weren't going to be that weird person, but you would talk to someone on the phone for 8 years for a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's so hard about this concept that you're not totally grasping.
Because you're talking to someone and not interacting really for 8 years. I mean, yeah, that's probably a friendship, but not really relationship. That's not dating at all. There has to be some kind of meetup.
No, to everybody on Catfish, they're dating right when they start texting, and yeah, that's how dating goes. We were dating for like 6 years. We just would exchange text messages all day, and then we never meet up. Yeah, he just kept on giving excuses, and we broke up for a little bit. Breaking up is basically not answering text messages for like 24 hours, and then they're like, oh, but then he texted me this like picture of this puppy, and then it's like, yes. Then we got back together, and I just couldn't stay away from him. Like, you couldn't just block his number, and then it's like, oh, forget it. Like, I'm never gonna. I don't know. It's just like, it's so ridiculous. Catfish is so ridiculous. I just like look at the people, and they're just like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You could be talking to a computer AI. I want that to be one of the episodes. They're just talking to a computer AI, and they're just like, oh, so it was just words on a screen that I thought were real. Like, there's been episodes where the people can't even believe it. Like, how many people were there? Well, I was talking to like 40 different girls. It's like, I can't believe he would do that. It's like, you could just tell it's a numbers game with him. Like, he just sits in his room, or she sits in his room, and then they're just texting 40 different girls, all different stories. Like, if one of them stops texting him, oopsie, I got other ones just waiting around. I don't know. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, but I love it. I love it. I love how crazy people get. And now it's just like, oh, I love him. I love him, or I love her. Like, we are made for each other. Like, we just talk. We never just say K. We always have something to say. I even text him by the bay. Or I make a mold of him out of clay.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
This is what goes through my mind when I'm watching this, and they're just like, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, I have such a good just relationship with this person. I've never had another relationship with any other person. It's like, this could be all fake. Like, even Eve and Max will be like, all right, let's temper your anticipation. This could be somebody that you might not necessarily find attractive. Oh, that's fine. That's cool. It could also be the same sex as what you are. Are you okay with that? Well, I'm not really that way, but let's just see how it works. And it's just like, then they come back and it's like complete opposite of what they thought it was of this person. And they're just like, I can't believe they lied. What else could they have lied about? And it's like, I don't know.
I just want to know what dating websites that they use, because unfortunately for my experiences, people want to meet up immediately. Like, there's no 8 years, there's no 3 months, there's nothing like that. It's like, hey, you want to meet up tomorrow? It's like, can we talk a little bit? I mean, I mean, this is going really fast right now.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Can we just wait till the weekend? Like, can we see how this goes and just like stumble upon, like, let's see how Wednesday and Thursday goes. Maybe I'll. No, I mean, I've had the same thing. Like, I've only used Tinder, and one of the girls was just like, let's meet up tomorrow. I'm just like, in the afternoon?
Wait a minute, you use Tinder?
Yeah, I've used Tinder before.
With how much crap you talk about it seems like you never did. So that's why you talk a lot of crap about Tinder.
Yeah, and that's how I know, because I was part of it. Yeah, I had triple digits in Tinder at one point. I used to so I would get it. I've only used real Tinder for, I would say, joking purposes, because I would just go on there. It's a confidence booster after a while, because you put up some pictures that you like, and then you're bored. I was bored in like Spanish class and stuff in college, and I would just swipe right, swipe left. I would be bored in breaks at my parking job, so I just use it just randomly, and then you look at your phone and you get matched during the middle of the night, and you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, confidence booster. I'm going to shower today because I don't know who I might meet. And you have like different messages that you do, but yeah, I used it. I was a triple digits kind of guy at one point, and then people started unmatching you, and you never know until you look at it, and you're just like, oh. but I used it. I used a decent amount, but I've only really met up with one other person on there, and it wasn't a good experience. So I was like, I'm never going to meet up with anybody else. But yeah, one girl in the recent episode used plentyoffish.com, and yeah, the dude basically lied about everything. And he even lied about what she said and how much money she asked for. And like, yeah, it was just like she was like, oh, I just lost my job. And he was like, oh, I've sent her like over $500. And then come to find out, she's just like, I never asked him to send any money. And then he's like, yeah, that's right. She never asked me to send any money. I only sent her $75, and that was against her will because she was just like, don't send me any money. And he was like, I'm going to send you some money. And then sent her $75. But he had different things going on, so I don't technically blame him. But he was, I don't know. It was a weird situation that worked out at the end. So I don't want to give any spoilers, but they're still together by the end of the episode. But yeah, I mean, I've used Tinder. I don't know. Tinder's weird, and I never thought of using any other dating applications. Not yet, anyways. I don't know. I'm not really into it. I'm not looking for anybody. Unless you're willing to talk to me for 8 years over texting, then yeah, no phone calls, no video chats. Whenever you ask to meet up, something's going to happen. Oh no. A lot of people, it's really morbid. A lot of people use like family members getting in a car accident or something to not see anybody. Like one person was like, oh, we're going to meet up today. And like 1 week he was like, oh, my brother just got into a car accident and died. And then the next week he was like, my grandma just died from cancer. And it was like, all right, well, I think you're lying unless you're the most unlucky dude in the world. But yeah, I'll come up with an excuse. Not as extreme. I'll say like, oh, I stubbed my toe today. I can't do it. I don't feel like it. Is that a good excuse? I'm just going to be straight and to the point. But yeah.
See, that's why I don't understand why people can't just be straight to the point with that kind of stuff. I'm like, you don't have a relationship with that person, really. You can just be like, I'm not feeling it, move on type of thing.
Yeah, I feel really bad, too, because one of my good friends from college tried to set me up with one of her girlfriends. And, like, the girlfriend was pretty attractive. She was really cool to talk to. Come to find out, she lives like 2 hours away. And I was just like, I really would like to meet you. You seem like a really nice person, but this is probably not going to happen. Like, I would find excuses not to like hang out like 30 minutes away, 2 hours away. That's just not convenient, I feel, for anybody. Like, and she didn't do a good job at selling it. She was just like, there's nothing good to do in my hometown, but you should just come up. And I'm just like, you just said there was nothing good to do, so I don't know why I would come up. Like,
you would go up there for her?
Yeah, well, she didn't sell it like that. Like, she should have been like, hey, we could hang out and we could have really fun times, like going to this river that's called Rainbow River, and we could have phantasms of time. I don't know what phantasms are, but it's the first one that came into my mind.
I think that's how the Transformers created their word that way. Just put that asms at the end and they were good.
Transformium our friendship into a relationship. But yeah, and then we just died off from talking. I know she's probably found some other person, and I'm cool with that. But I mean, I just felt really bad because I really like my friend. She's really cool. She knows me well, and she was just like, "Oh, you guys would be so cool together." And then it's like 2 hours, and I know it's really close, but still, I'd be like, I should have just texted her, "Hey, do you mind just like talking?" Oh, I did actually tell her that. I was like, "Hey, I actually suggested talking to her. I was like, hey, what if we just talk on the phone for like 3 years, and then we'll call Catfish, and then we'll be like, hey, that's how we'll first meet. And then that would be a great story, right?
Did you really say those words to her?
I did, actually. I did. I was like, maybe we should talk for 3 years, and then we can call Neve and Max. You could do it if you want. I would love to have the opportunity to meet them and then talk about all of our text messages and stuff. But if you want to do it, because it's normally traditional that the woman call in and thinks the guy is totally not really well conceived, and then then you would finally come down and meet me. They would be really shocked that we only live like 2 hours apart and that we've never seen each other. You can also tell them about all the cool excuses I used, like stubbing my toe and not really wanting to meet up. And then that would be our first meetup. And then everything would be cool. And then she was just like, yeah, let's not do that. Let's just meet up. And I was just like, yeah, I stubbed my toe.
You're so horrible.
That's a true story, by the way. I mean, you don't have to ask her to corroborate it because I've definitely said that to her. But yeah, we talked for like another week and then it just went nothing. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just really want to get on one of these like Maury Povich or Catfish shows. Even, I don't know. I would like to go on Cheaters, but as if it was staged. Like, I know, like, I don't want to like be like really in love with somebody and then go on Cheaters and then find out they're actually cheating on me. I'm like, oh, dang it. I'm sorry, Joey Greco. If you're still on the show, probably not. I think it was Green Gable. Clark Gable? I think that's the name of the kid. I think the kid is now is something Gable.
You mean like the famous actor, like Clark Gable?
Yeah, he has like a similar name, but it's definitely not the actor. But I would just hate to go on there and just be like, oh no, she's actually cheating. Oh, darn it. After 8 years of talking on the phone, and now we finally meet up and she's cheating on me. We dated for so long. AKA dating is texting.
Wait, then that's the first time you see her through the video footage. Everyone's like, who's that? Oh, that's your girlfriend.
Yeah, she doesn't text me as many texts in the day. Like, she seems like she has more important things to do, like have a life and actually somebody that's actually going to like talk to her and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That's my whole philosophy on dating right now. Do you have anything to add or anything that you...
No, my dating life sucks because of those sites. So I have Zac Efron to blame for that because that's the only reason I signed up for it. So don't look at me like that.
What do you mean Zac Efron made you do it?
Okay, Zac Efron found out he joined Tinder. So, and I always heard about Tinder. Found out he was on it, and then people were swiping. So if you actually swiped on him in his profile, he would actually like talk to you. So of course I jumped on it immediately. Then I kind of got sucked into that whole world and dating, and it's bad.
You know, it's a radius thing, right? Like it's a circle.
I did not know this at this time. So I'm like an idiot not knowing what to do. So then I had to ask like people like Christian, who doesn't need to be on it, and asking him all about it. So I know Tinder like the back of my hand now, unfortunately. And then it is an ego boost, definitely ego boost, because some of these dudes I'm like, there's no way. If we met in person, no way whatsoever. But I'm like, whatever, I'm keeping you. I have like 120, so I'm like, yes. So I keep growing. And I know like half these people, I'm like, I'm never gonna meet you whatsoever. And then just, I don't know if guys have it worse than girls, but some of the conversations, and especially how it starts off, are horrible.
I think it's way more difficult with men, like women, and then men starting conversations with women. Because I've heard what my friend says about Tinder now, because I haven't been on Tinder in a while, and she just is like, what is wrong with these guys? And I was just like, why? I always used to do it like a jokey kind of thing. I heard I used to watch the Day to Remember interviews, and one of the questions that one fan asked was, would you rather have a tiger-sized duck or a duck-sized tiger? So I would always start off the conversation with that, because then the girl would have to give a response. It's not like, oh, hi. So, but apparently they were just like, dudes send way different things. And I was like, that's what's going on?
Yeah, and I was an idiot, and I put my Kick Messenger name on there. Worst decision ever. And again, this was when I was a noob to it, and then they were like, hey, how are you doing? You can send pictures through there. So yeah, unfortunately I had to deal with all that. And then I immediately took down my Kick Messenger. So, and even then, I don't know if they have this whole routine where they're going to be really nice guys and all that, and then you want to talk off of Tinder, and you give them your phone number or messenger, and then within a couple days you start receiving pictures. So yeah, I think from what I've heard from guys is that they get the bots the most, and then they ask for credit, like they suck you in, and then all of a sudden, hey, if you want to keep talking, give me a credit card.
Yeah, I've definitely been sucked into bots, and it's even a fun. After you've been on the thing for a while, you try to guess which one's a bot. And that's the one with like 2 pictures that are kind of blurry and then no bio at all. And they always start off the conversation. Like 90% of women will be like, oh, I want the guy to start the conversation. And then the bots will always start the conversation with you. And it's just like, hey. And then it's like, hey, what's up? And then it's like, oh, I'm just new into town and I don't really know too many people. And what's going on with you? And then you say something, and then they say something that's like completely weird and out of the ordinary, and then they're just like, oh, well, I don't like messaging on here, kick me. And it's like, all right, well, I know you're a bot because you're doing that. One time my friend was like, I think this person's a bot. And I'm like, what are you gonna say? And so he started going off on like how he was a space astronaut, and he came back after 3 years of being up there, and this was his first human interaction in 3 years. And she was just like, oh yeah, well, that's kind of cool. Like, she was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I'm free tonight and all this other stuff. And he was just like, all right, I don't know if it's a bot or not. And so he went further in the thing, and he's like, oh, well, I hate messaging on this, so if you could kick me. And then he's like, yeah. And then he just unmatched it. And I was just like, this is weird. This is weird stuff. But yeah, bots are the worst. And even they're still ego boosts, because you're like, oh, the bot liked me. Even though they just like you because you liked it. So it's just like, it's like sitting somewhere, just like a machine is just swiping right at points. And then you're just like, oh, I like this blurry picture of this kind of attractive female. But it's just bad. It's just, and now what they do in Tinder, I went back on Tinder because my one friend's on it, and I went back on there just to see what was up, and it's just like, it's so changed now. Like, you can now undo if you swipe left on somebody and like you like didn't mean to, you can undo it. You can super like somebody now, which I don't even know what that means. And then you can only like a certain number of people unless you get unlimited Tinder, and it's just like, what the heck is going on? This is just a money train now.
Well, the one feature that I actually like really, really liked, because I can judge people like more guys on, is that you could connect it to Spotify, and then you get to see like their main song that they pick, their like the anthem, and then you get to see all their other music. And some guys, I was like, oh, well, you're really cute, and then I look at their music, I'm like, nope, just swipe left. No, they have horrible taste in music. This is never gonna work. So, and then they keep adding different things too. Oh. So, but I think that was the one feature I really, really liked. But and then you do like a top their pictures. I guess whatever picture that maybe they stop at. I don't know what the algorithm, whatever that they do. But then they notify you and say, this is the most liked picture, and this is the picture that's going to be your main picture from now on out of your 5 or 6 that you have.
Really? I don't know. That's weird. I don't like it. I like back in the day when it was just 2 buttons. It was the like or dislike, and you could just go on for hours. One time when I was living off on my own in college, I got home one time and I just laid on my couch and I just swiped right or left for like 2 hours straight. And then I was just like, man, I should eat something. And I didn't even turn on the TV or anything. I was just like swiping and I just lost track of time. Like it was just fun. It was just fun to just, you just feel so judgy at that time. Like you're legit just judging people on their like their looks, which then you can, I guess with the messages you can learn their personality more. But other than that, you're just like, I just didn't like that Facebook started like suggesting you to be friends once you like somebody and you were messaging them back and forth. Facebook was like, oh, you might like this person. And I'm just like, is that the person I was talking to? Like, because now they have like last names and everything. Like Tinder doesn't give you a last name, but now Facebook will do that. Because if you sign in with Facebook, it'll suggest you to be friends with them. And you're like, I don't want this person knowing that.
Well, I've actually swiped left on guys because they were either like, because since you sign in with Facebook and then they do your degrees of friends. And some people I'm like, first degree, I'm like, no, absolutely not. If you're friends with that person, no. So that kind of creeps me out, like other people knowing other people. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the whole integration with too many different places. Like there's Instagram, so you get even more pictures. You get Spotify, so you know their song things. You get degree of friends, so you know who their friends are and your friends are. And it's like, all right, I feel like I know the person now. Like, sheesh. Can we just make this a stranger thing? Like, I'm going to run out of things to ask this person if I'm going to try to talk to him for 8 years. Like, sheesh. I already know what they like in music. Like, oh my goodness. What's your favorite color? Is going to be like my first. No, that's the worst times because that's when you know you've ran out of freaking topics is, what's your favorite color? And then you just have that person that's like, I don't have a favorite color. I'm a freaking adult. Like, we don't need favorite colors. Like seriously?
Have you been asked that?
No, I'm mainly the person that asks that. And it's such a low moment in the conversation because you're just like, oh, I remember asking a girl, oh, this is so embarrassing. I remember asking a girl, what's your favorite board game to play when it's raining outside? And it's like, I'm not Amish. Like, I like to go on the internet.
Oh my God.
That's what I would have said. She was very nice. And she said like Candyland or something. Like she humored me. But realistically, it's like, why are you asking this question? Like, I don't know.
I wish I had PG, like to G rated conversations like that, because that sounds nice versus other conversations that usually go right off the bat.
I don't know about that. I'm just a classy kind of guy. I don't bring up what my friend said other guys bring up in Tinder like super fast, like 5 seconds of matching with the person. They're just like, hey, you DTF? And it's just like, what? Like, I've never asked that as the main question. Or somebody did like a poem and it had like, it was just distasteful to say in the first little bit. And I'm like, and my friend was just like, what gives the guys the right to do this? And I was just like, because it's worked for them once. And to some guys, if it worked once, it will work again. And that's just the way it goes. Like, they already think you're down because you matched with them. So they're just like, hey, let's get going. And it's like, no, I'm not that kind of person. And so that's why I don't know. I've never been the type to be like, just assuming like, hey, you want it? I'm serving it up. It's like, no, let's not do that. Like, I'm always just like, hey, what's up? What's your favorite music? No, now you can't even ask that because of Spotify. So I would just ask like random questions and then ask for their phone numbers at some point. Make it seem awkward to ask if they want to go to get coffee or something. I used to always do the paragraph of like, would you be in care of joining me for a hot or cold beverage of your choice at a certain establishment? And they'd just be like, LOL, do you mean coffee? And I'd just be like, yes. I know I would write yes in capital, and they would think I'm yelling yes, but really I was whispering yes. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would always play the awkward, like try to be funny kind of guy. And I mean, it hasn't worked for me since, so why not go to the just straight off the bat? I don't really want to do that, but like do what I'm suggesting and actually be that kind of guy. But I mean, I don't know. It works for some people. It just doesn't work for me. I'd rather just be like, hey, I'm quirky. Look at me. You like my pictures. I don't know why. I look completely different in a lot of my pictures. No beard, big beard, shaved head, not shaved head. I don't know. I don't know what, like, you could be getting any one of these 5 guys and girls just don't even know.
Yeah, I was about to say, on your Facebook, you need to update some of your pictures wait, what pictures did you use on Tinder?
I used one where I was like dressed up. I had like a blue, like dressed up picture and I had no beard, my hair up. And then there was another one where I had a beard, but I had a buzz cut and I was wearing my maroon jacket. Then there's another one where I had slick back hair, like peach fuzz, and wearing the maroon jacket. And then there's one where I was wearing a blue polo, hair up, and then big beard kind of thing. And it was kind of blurry, so people thought I was a bot probably. But my bio would probably give it away that I wasn't a bot, because my bio was completely just me and a lot of movie references with me thrown in there. Like it started with, "Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm damn glad to meet you." You know what movie that's from? It's from Animal House. Because Tim Matheson comes down and says that to everybody. He wants to leave the party, and they're like, "You have to introduce yourself to everybody," and that's what they would do.
And you realize you're saying this line to girls around your age, and they probably don't know that.
I mean, I put, yeah, my age. Because I put the age thing at 20 and up. But, yeah, you're right. They probably got the Anchorman reference more than the Animal House. Well, I like a sophisticated type of girl that likes Animal House and National Lampoon movies. So maybe we can text each other while we're watching that together. If you want to text me for 8 years, we can do that. Every Christmas we'll text while we watch Christmas Vacation. I can't necessarily say I would text back because I love that movie and I get submerged. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they probably don't get the reference, but I don't care. They always loved my whole Dr. Ew thing. Like all of them, they always text me. If I texted them and then they text me back, they'd be like, "I love your bio. I love the Dr. Ew stuff." And I'm just like, "Yeah, thank you." But then again, a lot of girls would use lines and they thought they were being clever and they weren't. Like the whole, I can be your Tinderella, or they name me Gillette because I'm the best a man can get. And when you first hear it or first see it, you're like, "Oh, that's cute." And then by the 50th time, you're like, "All right, well, you're not original. Swipe left." So.
Yeah, I have one of my pictures it's of me, and then it's a Pokemon ball. And I can't tell you how many pickup lines about catching me or whatever, just like nonstop. And then I have a picture of me in my classic banana outfit and tons of pickup lines about bananas. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was the only one using pickup lines still, but they're very, very popular still. Some are just more clever than others. And I don't know. There's a lot of girls that are just like, "Don't use the pickup line on me or I'll never text back." And it's like, even if I say, "Hey, you'll never text back," so it doesn't matter. It's the luck of the draw, basically. Some girls are really into it, and then a lot of people are just like, no, this is just for fun. I'm just doing this for boredom or self-esteem boost. Like, there's a lot of actual profiles that are like, not here for hookups, and I already have a boyfriend. And it's like, what are you doing now? Like, and I probably won't message you because I just don't check this thing a lot. And it's like, then just delete it. Like, what are you doing on this? Just to like look at your phone and see if you matched with somebody from like 3 years ago? Get over yourself. I'm too cool. Like, I have friends, I have a life, so don't expect me to acknowledge you on Tinder. So that's the point of this app, right? It's just to be seen and not like whatever. No, I won't talk to you for 8 years so you can go on Catfish. That's what they're basically saying to my face when they say that. I feel like we went down a rabbit hole about Tinder when we talked about flopping movies and all that other stuff.
I think this is a very beautiful podcast that we have going on right now.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty much a train wreck in the beginning because we kept on just talking about Transformers, and then we were just like, I don't know what else to say. And now it's like, now we're definitely talking about bashing Tinder and all these people on Tinder and screw people on Tinder. Anyways, I think we should just end it. All right, so let's end it. You can listen to this on YouTube on our Tell Me RUNE channel, and you can listen to us on iTunes at Tell Me RUNE Podcast. And have a bad Tinder experience, please leave it in the comments for both. We would love to read it. Or tweet us at Tell Me RUNE. Excited about a movie coming out in 2017 summer? Let us know. Think Transformers is also going to be a flop? Go ahead. Disagree with us? Your comment will be deleted. And yeah, sad about TV shows getting your favorite show being canceled? Let us know. We're right there with you. There's been years and years of my life have been taken off because one show that I thought would get renewed and wanted to see the mystery end was canceled. And then it's like, well, I'm never going to see that mystery be solved, hopefully. So leave us comments. We'll read them. We'll like them. We'll comment back to them. We just want human interaction. And if you want to talk for 8 years, let me know. I'm just here. I'm just going to be here doing whatever. You want to say something? Final words?
I was about to say that. I'm like, if you want to talk to Andrew for 8 years, just send us like your email, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I think this is the end of this episode. We'll be back next week.